Thank you, everybody, for coming to this afternoon's meeting of the Northampton License Commission, Wednesday, May 21st, 4 p.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. Present this afternoon, myself, Natasha Yakovlev, Commissioners Jennifer Ewers and Amy Cahillane. And this meeting is being Zoom recorded. And first item on our agenda is public comment. Do we have anybody here to speak to general public comment this afternoon? And I don't see any hands. Did you see a hand, Annie?
I don't see a hand, but I have a
written
comment.
Yep.
Let's see, from Karim May, who lives on Strong Ave. And his comment reads, "Many thanks to Isaac and the rest of the organizers for their hard work to get this year's event going and for listening to my concerns about the music volume and frequency at Summer on Strong. I really appreciate the adjustments you're making for this year's event, most notably dropping back down to 4 nights of music, prioritizing smaller acts some nights, and having a sound check person available. I'm hopeful and optimistic that it's going to be a very nice summer for Strong Avenue."
Thank you. All right, then we'll jump right in. We start with an application for a short-term liquor license for Glasgow Lands Scottish Festival, Saturday, July 19th from 9 to 10 p.m. The event is the Glasgow Lands Scottish Festival at Look Memorial Park, 300 North Main Street in Florence. And this is an all alcohol license. And who do we have here today?
I don't see Peter.
Yeah. Okay, we can circle back to him when he arrives. And the event's not until July 19th, so he has plenty of time too. All right, so then we'll go to item number 4. We have an application for short-term liquor license for Greenfield Cooperative Bank, Wednesday, June 4th, 5 to 7 p.m. This is for the Arrive at 5, and it will be held at the Northampton Cooperative Bank location at 6 Main Street in Florence. And this is a wine and malt license. And
I am Courtney Huxley. I'm representing the bank.
Great. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Good, of course. So it looks like everything is submitted for the chamber event.
Yes.
Okay. Commissioners, are there any questions for Courtney?
I had no questions.
No questions.
All right, then we are ready for a motion, please.
So I make a motion to approve the application for a short-term liquor license for Greenfield Cooperative Bank for Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, as detailed on item 4 of our agenda.
I'll second.
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Excellent. Thanks for coming, Courtney.
Thank you.
Application for an entertainment license for the purposes of Summer on Strong, Rias Bashas, LLC, DBA Homestead at 7 Strong Ave. The proposed entertainment for Summer on Strong is live music from May 21st through September 9th, 2025, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 4:45 to 8:15 p.m., and Sundays, 5:15 to 8:15 p.m. And do we have Jeremy here?
So I don't see Jeremy. Isaac is here, but I don't want to put him on the spot. It's not his application.
I'm happy to talk on behalf of Summer on Strong if that's allowed. I can also text Jeremy and see if we can get him here.
Yeah, would you mind shooting him a text and see if we can get him quickly? And Isaac, you're with Familiars, right?
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, if you want to speak to Summer on Strong a little bit, since you're so involved with it, while we see if Jeremy arrives.
Great. So since January, I would say the Summer on Strong committee has been, sorry about that. Since January, the Summer on Strong committee has been working very, very hard to hear the concerns from Karim and from Shiva Shakti. I met with Shiva Shakti in January, and we agreed on shortening the music time on Sundays. So that's going to be that 5:30 to 8. So this lets one of their classes get out. And then I don't know how much it's going to work, but I put a bunch of arbor trees right in front of Shiva Shakti to kind of pretend like it's a sound barrier. We'll see if that works. I met with Karim. I heard all of his concerns. I met with him and Andrea, the executive director for the DNA. And we've kind of been working very hard over the last couple months. We engaged with Ryan Hollander as a new music booker. I think he is here if you want to hear directly from him. But we engaged with him and we kind of set out a new program, which is going to be dropping that day on Wednesday, which is one of Karim's biggest asks. So just having music Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that Ryan was being more mindful of the size of musicians and the size of acts that we have. And so, Thursday, Friday are going to be a little bit quieter than Saturday and Sunday, Saturday being reserved for bigger groups. But I've met with him and I hope his letter attests to that we've heard all of the concerns from both him and Shiva Shakti and kind of have been working tirelessly over the last couple months to get back on track with this.
Well, thank you for doing that. It makes a huge difference, and just he certainly seems pleased based on the comment that he made through Annie. So I appreciate that.
I think so.
Are the commissioners okay if we go ahead? I mean, I think that Jeremy's function is just to be the responsible party for this license this time, and I know that they take turns. So I feel satisfied having heard from Isaac.
I'm fine going ahead as well.
Yep,
I
I'm
can also-
satisfied.
I can also add that Summer on Strong is having their party at the moment. Their
Okay.
kickoff party started at 4, so that's might be where he is.
Oh, totally fine. That's fair. We will move on without him and approve this, or we'll make a motion and see what happens.
Are you ready for a motion?
Yes.
All right, then I will make a motion to approve the application for an entertainment license for the purposes of Summer on Strong submitted by Rios Boxes LLC, DBA Homestead, as detailed on item 5 of the agenda.
Second,
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank
Thank you.
you. Item number 6, applications for short-term liquor licenses for the Michael F. Curtin 8006 VFW Home Association Incorporated at 18 Meadow Street. This is for the Music on the Porch Florence Concert Series from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. on Thursdays. It is a wine and malt license being sought for the following 2025 dates: May 29th, June 5th, June 12th, June 19th, June 26th, July 3rd, July 10th, July 17th, July 24th, July 31st, August 7th, August 14th, August 21st, August 28th, and September 4th. And hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, busy.
That's good.
Yep,
So
it's,
any changes to how you plan to do this year?
we're gonna do it again like we did last year. Yep, 5:30, 8:30, beer and wine. We have a little tent set up. We have tables and chairs set out there. We're gonna have it roped off also, so that no cars are gonna get through there from the parking lot. It seemed to go over well last year. I just, have to be careful with people walking across the sidewalk, but that takes place all the time anyhow. Music on the porch is quite popular.
Yes, it is. It's a really nice event. It's nice to have you
But
participate.
We've had no issues and, I'd like to go forward with this.
Okay, very good. Do the commissioners have any questions or comments for Mr. Peace?
I had no questions on this one.
No, no questions, no.
All right, then I think we're ready for a motion.
Yes, Annie, do I have to read all the dates in the motion?
You can just say as detailed in the agenda.
Yep, perfect. So I move to approve the applications for short-term liquor licenses for the Michael F. Curtin Post 8006 VFW Home Association for Music on the Porch, the Florence Concert Series, as detailed in item number 6 of today's agenda.
And I'll second.
And Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 7, application for a short-term liquor license for the Beer Guy LLC, Saturday, May 31st from 1 to 7 p.m. at Look Park, 300 North Main Street, Florence, for the East Hampton Savings Bank picnic, and this is a wine and malt license.
So,
And
so he is actually in my office right now.
oh, he is.
Yes, he misunderstood the email and thought it was in person, but
Oh,
it
okay.
sounds like my coworker is getting him set up now. So maybe we can continue, can move
Okay.
on.
And circle back, that's fine. Application for a common victualler and entertainment license, Grandmar Hospitality Incorporated, DBA Fitzwilly's Toasted Owl Tavern, 23 Main Street. The proposed entertainment is indoor recorded music, live music, and trivia with amplification for the following days and hours. Sunday, Fitzwilly's for 11:30 to 8:30, Toasted Owl, 12 noon to 11 p.m. Monday through Thursday at Fitzwilly's, 11:30 to 8:30 p.m., Toasted Owl, 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Fridays at Fitzwilly's, 11:30 to 9:45 p.m., Toasted Owl, 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. Saturday, Fitzwilly's, 11:30 to 9:45 p.m., Toasted Owl, 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. And do we have the folks here?
Yep, we're here. Josh Goldstein, attorney for Grandmar Hospitality Inc. Hello,
How are
good
you?
to see you all again. Yep.
Yes, nice to see you
Twice in
too.
1 month, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these ones are, a little more straightforward. For the common vic, hours of operation are staying the same, business is continuing as is. In regards to the entertainment license, they plan on doing everything the business already does, but they would like the opportunity to offer live music. In the future, I assume it would be in the bar area, and that's kind of what Chrissy and I had discussed. And they, already offer indoor recorded live music and trivia on Thursdays. And the hours would be similar, of course, subject to noise, complying with noise ordinances and all of that good
Sure.
stuff.
So having the live entertainment and more than 50 seats requires an entertainment response system. And we have Captain Stolmeyer here from the Northampton Fire Department. So if I could recognize her to speak to that for a moment and what is required.
Hi, good evening.
Hello.
Whoops. Yes, so we have a Fitzwilly's listed as an A2 restaurant, and what you're describing fits the definition of nightclub per the building code's definition, with low lighting and increased noise levels. So therefore, because your occupancy is over 50, you would need to apply an entertainment system response to your fire alarm system. Are you, do you know what that is? Would you like me to explain it to you?
Yes, if you could, please.
Yeah, so an entertainment system response says that when you have any sort of loud music or live music with low lighting and other conditions, that when the fire alarm is activated, the house lights come up and the amplification for the music is shut down so that the fire alarm system can be heard and the strobe lights can be seen by the patrons.
Noted. So obviously I don't believe that is in place now. So I guess
I don't believe it is
now-
either.
No, so I guess for now, if we could just, apply for just to continue the live music and the indoor recorded music, then of course, reapply for the live music once we have all of that in place.
So are you continuing your live music or are you applying for live music? Can you clarify that?
It doesn't, I don't believe the current owners offer live music.
Okay. This is also inclusive of recorded music, and it just has to do with the sound levels. Your fire alarm horns system operates at a certain maximum dBA of 110. so that if the music that's being amplified, whether it's live or recorded, is above those levels, then that's when the system comes into play. So while we typically take, when we hear live music, we respond to that in this forum. It also does apply to recorded music. So you can pass that message along as well.
Great.
Okay,
And,
so
and that's only if the recorded music reaches a certain level of decibels.
Correct. And I'm guessing that with diners in the area, you're not
Yeah.
going to reach that amount.
Right.
It would be more like that would apply to like if you had a DJ or something in there where the music wasn't live per se, but he was amplifying recorded music.
Okay, great. Thank you.
and Captain, there's no issues around trivia.
Trivia, no.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. So we can, how about we move forward with this and just omit the live music piece and
Great.
discuss common victular and the trivia?
Can I ask a question about the live music piece before we totally omit it? And this is maybe for Captain Stolmeyer. Is the capacity for Fitzwillies and Toasted Owl a collective capacity, or is it split between Fitzies and Toasted Owl? So for example, if they just had live music at Toasted Owl and that capacity was under 50, I don't know if it is.
So that is a building department question for Kevin. However, I can't speak on that. I believe it's listed as the same space on the building certificate as all one space. And they might possibly need to not have a pass through between the two spaces in order to make it two separate spaces. So
Thank you.
yes.
Okay. Attorney Goldstein, did you have anything else that you wanted to mention?
No, I think
Okay.
that's it. This one's a little more brief.
Yeah, okay, great. Commissioners, did you have any comments or questions before we go to a motion?
I had a question. Are we still waiting for the insurance license and some other paperwork, Annie?
We are, that is all due before I issue the licenses. And they're still waiting on approval from the ABCC for the liquor license, so I can imagine I will collect all that at the same time before I issue any license.
Okay, thank you.
And I see we have Kevin here from the building department, so I'd like to recognize Kevin.
So the occupancy is listed as 1 for Fitzwillies and Toasted. It's 1. It's not separated between businesses. So if they wanted it separated, they would have to, I guess they could still keep the pass-through, but each business would have to have its own occupancy, which I think the reason why they have the pass-through is because of the number of restrooms.
Got it.
So I believe that's why it's the pass-through is there and it's listed as one certificate. It's because number of restrooms.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, I think we're ready for a motion then.
Okay, I'll move to approve the application for common vic and entertainment license for Grandemar Hospitality Inc., DBA Fitzwillies Toasted Owl Tavern as detailed in item 8 on the agenda, only for a common vic and trivia with amplification. Issuance conditioned on receiving all of the necessary documents and the liquor license approved by the ABCC.
Second.
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
So
Great.
that wasn't supposed to include recorded music?
I thought did I say recorded music?
I
I thought I
just
said
heard-
common vic and trivia with amplification. Maybe I just need to say trivia.
So trivia with amplification, I guess, doesn't include recorded music. That's just trivia. Am I?
Yes, should I amend it just as, I presume it's trivia with a microphone, maybe I'm getting over, is the amplification?
Right, but I think correct me if I'm wrong, the trivia is separate from the recorded music.
Yeah,
And the
I think
recorded music is okay.
the amplification was only for the live music.
Okay. So I'll amend my motion to just be for a common vic and trivia.
And indoor recorded music.
And indoor recorded music.
Okay, do we have a second
I
for
just
the,
don't know if we should because the captain has her hand raised.
Yes. Captain Stolmeyer.
You were correct on that. So the trivia can be amplified, I guess is the word. Just the music has to be at a certain level if recorded, and the live music is a different category.
Great.
Do you want me to restate the motion? Or are we good?
I'll
Um,
second it if it's okay with Annie.
okay, Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do we have, thank you, Captain Stolmeyer and Kevin for being here for that. Do we have the beer guy here?
I believe we do.
Yeah, it's David. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay, great. I'm just gonna read the agenda item for you. Application for short-term liquor
Sure.
license, The Beer Guy LLC, Saturday, May 31st, 2025, 1 to 7 p.m. at Look Park, 300 North Main Street, Florence, for the East Hampton Savings Bank picnic, and it is a wine and malt license being sought. And you've been here before for serving at Look Park. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about where you're setting up and how you plan to do it this year?
I believe the bank ESB reserved the playground pavilion for their bank. And basically what we do is we'll back into the pavilion. I don't know who they're doing for food yet, so, or what exactly their setup is going to be, but I know our setup is we back our trailer in, we put our tables out, we put our few sample products up, they come up to the trailer, we serve them. Bank ESB is not being charged for each individual person. It's complimentary to Bank ESB. I send them a statement at the end and they just pay one price when we serve them.
Okay.
I've done weddings at half a dozen weddings at Look Park. I did that run for them a couple of times. So
Yep.
I'm familiar with their process.
Yeah, totally. Jennifer and Amy, do you have any questions?
I do not.
No questions.
Okay, great. Yeah, you've done this a few times before at the park, so that's great.
Yes, I
We're ready
have.
for a motion.
Yep. Motion to approve the application for a short-term liquor license for the Beer Guy LLC on Saturday, May 31st, 2025 at Look Park as detailed in item number 7 in our agenda.
I'll second.
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Excellent. Moving on then, we have an application for a new common victular license for Yup Coffee Roasters Incorporated at 296 Nonotuck Street in Florence. And we have someone from Yup here.
We might, I'm not recognizing any names.
I think it was Matthew on the application.
Yes, and then Liza was the one that submitted it.
No, we'll move
Not-
on.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Application for a change of manager on an annual wine and malt package store license, Pasupati LLC, DBA Mox Chip and Ale at 100 Damon Road. And the proposed manager is Baron Kumar Patel. And do we have somebody here?
Here as the attorney for Passapartout.
Oh, hello, how are you?
Good, and Biren Patel is here as well.
Okay, wonderful. Hello. Thank you for coming. So would you like to just let us know a little bit about what's happening with the change at Mox?
Just a change of manager. Biren's recently gotten his US citizenship, actually, so he's qualified now as a US citizen to be the manager for the liquor license, and so we're changing that. He's been an owner all along.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, great. That's perfect. Congratulations.
And I think the application packet has everything that you need. Do you have
Yes,
any
it does.
questions?
Everything's been submitted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do the other commissioners have any questions or comments?
No
No
questions.
questions.
All right, then this is pretty straightforward. I think we're ready for a motion.
Great. I'll do a motion to approve the application for a change of manager on an annual wine and malt package store license for Passapartout LLC, DBA Mox Chip and Ale, as outlined in agenda item 10.
Second,
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Next up, we have applications for short-term liquor licenses for Northampton Center for the Arts, Inc., 33 outside at 33 Holly Street, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. for Friday, June 13th and Friday, July 11th, and it is a wine and malt license being sought. And I thought I saw someone here.
I'm here.
Oh, hello. Oh, there you are. How are you?
Hi. Hi, nice to see you all again.
Nice to see you too. Do you want to just let us know a little bit about these events that you're having?
Sure, 33 outside, and there's also an August 8th date too. So
Oh,
this
okay.
is a summer series that the Center for the Arts does, where it is outside and the Peace and Rhythm Collective DJs play music. We have a beer tent. We have some family-friendly outdoor activities as well. It's free, open to the public. It's partially funded by the ARPA grant. And this was conceived by one of our board members as a way to bring local residents together for some fun outside summertime and some dancing.
Nice. Sounds great. Any questions or comments from the commissioners? Annie, sorry.
Sorry. So
waiver.
can you state your name for the record, please?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Heather Jeffrey, co-director of the Center for the Arts. We're also requesting a fee waiver.
And
Okay.
adding a date.
And I never got the August date. I know we had talked about it and I was waiting for it, but I never saw it come through.
I submitted it immediately.
I see it on
immediately after-
description of the event, Annie.
There was one originally, and because she had put all 3 dates on one application, but they can only be consecutive dates, and if they're not, then they need to be done separately. So I still only have 2.
I submitted all 3, the third one immediately after the July one, and I'm looking right now, but I think I have confirmation of it being submitted. Hold on one second.
And Annie, can we approve contingent on submitting if we're not able to locate it now?
Yeah, it looks like I have 2 submitted on May 16th, and then there's one that's a draft. Let's see if that's the 18th or yeah, it's still a draft in your account.
Hold on one second. Sorry about that.
And it's not on the agenda, so I don't think
Well, we have time to put it on the next month.
yeah, for sure.
And Heather, you wouldn't need to come for that. We could handle that without you.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to join us.
You know, I'm used to seeing you all on a regular basis.
I know.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to see. And I'm happy to resubmit another one if for some reason I didn't.
It's you I don't think you have to do anything more. You just have to submit it. It's still in your drafts. So I don't think you have to fill anything else out again.
Okay, I'm just looking to do it now. Of course, this is when my computer is being very slow.
Natasha, do you want a motion while we're doing that since we can't vote on the
That would be
August
great.
one if it's
Okay,
not on the
sure.
agenda?
So motion to approve the applications for short-term liquor licenses for Northampton Center for the Arts for 33 Outside on June 13th, 2025 and July 11th, 2025, as detailed on item 11 on the agenda, and to include a fee waiver.
Second.
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
All right, so Heather, we'll just add that on to the next.
Great. I just went through and submitted it, Annie. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
Thanks, Heather.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Sia. We have next up an application for change of manager and change of officers, directors on an annual wine and malt package store license. This is for River Valley Market LLC, 330 North King Street, and the proposed manager is Yvette Laurent Jimenez. And who do we have here with us this afternoon?
Hi. Well,
Oh, you're coming into view. Hi.
yes. Hello.
Could you just let us know who you are?
Yes, I'm Rochelle Prunty. I'm the general manager for River Valley Co-op.
Excellent.
And yeah, so I'm here to answer questions about the application for today.
Yep. Okay, great. Thank you. So we do have all documents submitted. You just want to let us know a little bit about the proposed manager. Have they worked at the store already?
Yeah, so Yvette started as a couple of years ago as the operations manager, and she's been promoted now to store manager. And so Jason, who still works for us, is in a different position, and she's in the store, the all the time person in the store, or most of the time there. So so we're making that change as who's in the store on a regular basis. And do you want me to go through the board too?
No, that's not necessary. No.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, no, just we need to know a little bit about who she is and what her experience is at the store. And it makes sense if she's there full time that she be the responsible party.
Yeah. Jason's moving more into data management and not so much out in the store.
Okay. Sounds good. Do the commissioners have any questions or comments for Rochelle?
I do not.
No questions.
Okay, then I think we're ready for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the application for change of manager and change of officers/directors on an annual wine and malt package store license for River Valley Market LLC as detailed in agenda item 12.
Second.
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you for coming, Rochelle.
Thank you. Thanks for all your work.
Thanks. Next up, we have a public hearing for application for transfer and pledge of license on an annual wine and malt restaurant license and application for a common victular license for Lichter and Levin Delicatessen, Northampton LLC, 1 Market Street. And the proposed manager is Alexandra Hanley. And I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Thank you.
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
And do we have anyone here for public comment regarding this public hearing? Seeing nobody, we can jump into it. Hello.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Happy to be here. Excited.
We're happy to have you here. Happy to hear what's happening.
So happy. It's very nice to feel the flow of positivity from everybody. So I appreciate you guys saying so.
Yeah, no, it's people are excited for this next adventure on the corner there.
Absolutely.
Great. So do you want to share with us what your plans are, what you're going to be doing?
Sure. So we are going to be the new Jewish deli in town, and we're not really differentiating from the existing, the license being transferred over to us. Operationally, it's going to be quite similar. So we'll just be supplying for sit-down service, will be counter service only. So we'll be doing, obviously beer, wine, and malt beverages. We also will be having catering in-house. So for private events and things, we'll want to do that in-house. I don't know if hours of operation would matter to you all. About our hours of operation are going to be 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. But if it affects the licensing or how we go about that, we would like to extend that to 11 p.m. just to accommodate for private events and pop-up dinners and anything else we kind of have on the horizon for us.
Right. Annie, would they need to do a separate application for that in the future once they sort all that out?
No, we
Or
can
update?
just extend it now.
Okay.
Great.
And do you have experience? Did you work at the Roost, or do you have what
I
is your
did.
background? Okay.
Yeah, I've been an executive chef. I mean, I cooked all over the tri-state area. I've now made my home here in Western Massachusetts, so I'm excited to bring my skill set and experience out here. I've been doing this. I know my baby face probably tells everyone it shouldn't be 20 years. Everyone kind of questions me on that, but I've been doing it for 20 years now. And I've been kind of a long time proponent of, bringing community together under the umbrella of food and what that means, for everybody, and the importance of uplifting other local resources around us. I mean, we're really spoiled out here with that. I think there's a lot we can do for each other, and I'm excited to do that.
Excellent. Amy and Jennifer, questions and comments?
I'm just so excited to see this happening. And Robin has never looked so relaxed in a solid decade.
That is a big smile on her face. Yes. No, and I work on Market Street, so I'm rooting for you every
There you
single
go.
day.
Awesome. Nice to see you too, Amy.
It's good to see you, and I'm so glad. I can't think of a better place for you to have landed too. So
That's so sweet of you. Thank you.
It feels very Basharit's to us that this whole team came together and we all have a shared goal and a shared mission and a shared dream. We're excited to make it happen, and we're getting really close. So this is a big part of it. So thank you.
I can't believe that Instagram LNL Deli teaser from like pre-COVID or
Years
something
ago.
is now
Yeah, we have
actually.
Ben here too.
Yeah.
Ben's
I just want to say hi.
well.
Yep. It's nice to meet everybody, and we're very excited. There's been a lot of planning and dreaming that's gone back many years, as you've alluded. And we're excited to open and join the great community here.
And when is the targeted opening-ish date?
It's a good question.
We're gonna say end of June. We're gonna put that on there.
The question of the hour.
Yeah. That's what we really want to know is when are you
Yeah,
opening?
totally.
Okay, great. Are there more questions or comments before I close the public hearing and we deliberate?
No questions.
I don't have any.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
I heard Amy. Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
I think we're ready for the motion.
Yep.
That was
100%. So I move to approve the application for transfer and pledge of license on an annual wine and malt restaurant license, an application for a common victualler license for Lichter and Levin Delicatessen on Market Street as detailed in item 13 of our agenda.
And do we want to add the hours, extend the hours to 11 p.m.?
It
Can we-
looked like in the application they were until 11.
I think
Oh,
I
it
did
was.
that. I think I
Oh,
did
okay.
that
Oh, okay,
preemptively.
super.
Or just-
Ignore me, that's fine. Awesome.
Well, the restaurant won't be open till that late, so we just wanted to make sure it was clear
Yep.
why we did that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Got it.
Great.
I'll
okay.
second.
Okay, excellent. And Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Congratulations. Step closer.
Very excited.
Great to meet everybody. Thank you
Awesome.
so
Thanks
much.
to meet
Appreciate it.
you.
Thanks,
Thanks
Al.
for coming. Okay, next up, we have an application for a common victular license and entertainment license for 99 Main LLC, DBA Miss Flo's Pizzeria at 92 Main Street in Florence. Proposed entertainment is indoor acoustic amplified music, Monday through Saturday, 4 to 8 p.m. And here we have somebody picking up another restaurant. So we are ready to hear about that.
Thank you. Hi there.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. A little nutty right now, as you can imagine, trying to get open over there.
Can you just state your name for the record?
Oh, sorry, Georgiana Brunton, owner of 99 Main LLC, which is DBA Miss Flo's Pizzeria at 92 Maple in Florence.
Yep, and formerly the A1 Pizza Space.
Correct. Correct.
Right. Do you want to share with us what your plans are for the restaurant?
Really, there's not going to be a lot of change. I am going to change up the pizza dough recipe a little bit. The interior is completely different than what it was just a few weeks ago. More sandwich forward, sandwich being grinder, hoagie, whatever you call, excuse me, a long sandwich. So that's it. It's gonna be cute.
Great, we're excited about it.
Yeah, I am most days.
Questions or comments from commissioners?
Georgie, did you change the floor plan?
No, the floor plan is still the same, although it will be one booth less. So I believe there was 7 booths when I purchased it. There are now actually 2. There's now 5 booths. So, and again, it's more for sitting and waiting for pizza and things like that.
Sure.
Okay. Anything else from anybody? You ready for a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the application for a common victular license and entertainment license for 99 Main LLC, DBA Miss Flo's Pizzeria, as detailed on agenda item 14. Sorry.
Second.
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Excellent. When do you plan to open?
About 2 weeks ago. So we're shooting for next Wednesday. We have a few things to button up with the landlord that he needs to take care of, or they need to take care of. So we're just waiting on them at this point.
Okay, great. Well, we look forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 15, we have an application for a change of manager on an annual package store license. This is for JW Sandry Incorporated, DBA Sandry, number 139 at 776 North King Street. And the proposed manager is Louis Matos. And
My
manager
guess
139.
is it's manager 139.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm Louis Matos, the store manager at Sandry Sunoco.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Have you worked at the store for?
I've been employed by Sandry Sunoco for 6 years now.
Okay.
Was assistant at Greenfield and excuse me, and then the former store manager left last April, so I've been at the store since last April.
Okay, very good. And are there any questions or comments from Jennifer or Amy?
I don't think so. It looked like everything was submitted.
Yep, no
We have
questions.
Okay.
So I'll make a
Then-
motion to approve the change of manager on the annual package store liquor license for JW Sandry Incorporated, DBA Sandry number 139, as detailed in item 15 of our agenda.
I'll second.
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Excellent.
You're all set then. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys.
All right, have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Next up, we have an application for common victular license, entertainment license, and automatic amusement device licenses for Progression Investments, LLC, DBA Progression Brewing Company at 9 Pearl Street. The proposed entertainment is indoor live trivia nights on Wednesdays and live music on other days. The proposed days and hours are Sundays, 12 to 7 p.m., Wednesdays and Thursdays, 4 to 10 p.m., Fridays, 3 to 10 p.m. and Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m. The automatic amusement devices are 3 pinball machines. And do we have someone here from Progression?
I believe Warren is the attorney.
Okay.
I am. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
So we will have the same issue to discuss regarding the entertainment response system. So we have Captain Stolmeyer here. So Annie, can you unmute her? So I'm not sure, Warren, how much of the earlier item you heard where capacity over 50 triggers a entertainment response system. Did we
Good
lose
evening, Warren. It's Captain Stolmeyer from the Fire Prevention Office. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. So I did not hear that, but obviously so the new purchaser of Progression is just looking to continue the business as it already was. So certainly, were they in compliance with that already, or is that something that needs to be added?
I can't say for certain, which is why this is coming up at this point.
Sure.
Because I'm now aware that they're having live music, so I need them to either confirm that they have it or to install the system.
Well, I believe that Josh Gavira, who's going to be buying the business, I believe he's told me he came into the meeting. I don't know if he's available.
Yeah, he's here on the list. If he's
Yeah, so
available, we will
see if we can
recognize
get him in.
Yep. Hi, how you doing?
Hello, Josh.
Yeah, so my understanding is that they are in compliance because they, to my understanding, have been having live music for a number of years. So
at this point, then I just need them to show proof that they do have it, and that can involve me being present when the system is tested, or an affidavit from your fire alarm contractor saying that it was installed and tested.
Okay, can you just repeat exactly what you need so I can just make a note of that to relate to him?
Sure. Yeah, so I need to be either present to witness the system tested, because I have no documentation of it being installed.
What system?
Oh, yes. So the entertainment system response is for amplified music and low lighting and other items that resemble a nightclub for your establishment that is an A2 with an occupancy of over 50 people. So what that entails is full shutdown of any music that's playing and house lights to full illumination when the fire alarm is activated. Basically, if you're knowledgeable of electronics or electrical code, that's just installing a couple relays that attach to the fire alarm system so that connection can be made.
Okay, and how would we schedule that with you?
You can reach out to me at any point to
Okay.
if they are knowledgeable of the system and what is already tied in, then they could reach out to me and we can discuss how and when to test it.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so for now, we can approve the live trivia nights on Wednesdays and the entertainment devices. Unless the commissioners have questions on those items.
Can we approve the rest of it pending confirmation by Chief Stolmeyer that they have the accurate system?
Yep.
Okay. Then I have no questions.
Okay, great. Jennifer, did you have anything?
No questions. No.
Okay, then we're ready for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the application for common vic license, entertainment license, and automatic amusement device license for Progression Investments LLC, DBA Progression Brewing Company, as outlined in agenda item 6, with the live music approval condition upon installation of the appropriate fire suppression system.
Second.
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so I'm just going to jump over 17 and go to 18 so Captain Stolmeyer doesn't have to sit here with us. You're raising your hand. Did you have something you wanted to say?
I think she's gonna.
If you don't mind changing that last statement, fire suppression to fire alarm, that is two different things that would be helpful going forward.
I'll amend my motion
No
from
problem.
fire suppression to fire alarm system.
Second.
Natasha. Sorry.
Okay.
So Natasha, Jennifer.
Yes.
And Amy.
Yes.
All right, so now we're just going to jump over to 18. Discussion and possible vote to adopt 2-2 short-term licenses inspection into the License Commission rules and regulations. Annie, would you like me to read this for the record?
Yes, please.
Okay, sure, no problem. An applicant for a short-term liquor license shall, as part of the application package, certify that the premises to be licensed are subject to inspection by the Northampton Building Department and Fire Rescue Department no less than annually, and that such premises have been inspected within the preceding 12 months. Any applicant that cannot certify that the premises have been inspected within the preceding 12 months shall be responsible for arranging an inspection by the Building Department and Fire Rescue Department and for payment of such fees as are determined by the Building Department and Fire Rescue Department prior to the issuance of the short-term license. No short-term liquor license shall be issued to any premises that have not been inspected by the Building Department and Fire Rescue Department within the preceding 12 months. So Annie provided Captain Stolmeyer with the list of short-term licenses. Was that for the last year, Annie?
That was for the last, I believe, 3 years.
Okay. So Captain Stolmeyer extracted a small number of those places that hadn't been inspected. So I know at our last meeting when we discussed this, there was some concern over the language being too restrictive in saying that somebody would be denied the license if they didn't have this inspection. I'm a lot less concerned about that because I think the numbers of where that's going to occur are going to be so low, and it's going to be a very easy fix for somebody to get that inspection done. So we could approve licenses contingent on the inspection being done and passing the inspection.
Yeah, I appreciated that list, and it also made me
it was helpful.
Far less concerned.
Yep. So I would propose that we adopt this language unless somebody feels differently.
No, I think this is perfect.
Okay. Then let's make a vote.
Annie, are we voting, or for a motion, do we need to reread the new language?
So I just want to clarify because the way it's written now is that they the license shall not be issued to any premises. So
is a contingent license considered issued? To me, it's a halfway issuance. It's not complete.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an Attorney Seawald question.
We have to. I mean, that's my what Amy and Jennifer, what's your interpretation of that?
Exactly how I would interpret it either. I mean, we're saying we're approving something conditioned on.
Right.
So, and if they don't meet that condition, that they don't get the license.
Yeah, I mean, we do it all the time with important paperwork too.
Okay.
Okay, so I will move to approve the 2-2 short-term license inspection verbiage into the License Commission rules and regulations that are outlined in item 18 of the agenda.
I'll second.
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right.
And-
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
Annie, I guess this is a question. I'm just looking at the list that Captain Stolmeyer wrote out. It seems like there are some obvious places that will be coming up. I would assume, is it possible for us, and by us, I guess I mean you, to reach out to them and give them a heads up, even when there's no pending application? Like the library and Click, I'm sure.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I can do that. They won't apply to the applications that were on tonight's agenda.
No,
because
I'm
this-
just preemptively thinking in the next couple of months, I can see some names on this list that I would imagine would come in front of us.
yes, I will do that.
Captain Stolmeyer has her hand raised too.
Hi,
Yes.
I just want to comment on the timeline of this. Comparing this to annual liquor license inspections, we usually complete those around the beginning of November. Annie, you're aware of our timeline on that, where it usually takes us right up till the end of December for some establishments to fix certain things. Maybe it's a good idea to give at least a 2-month warning at this point for those who you are expecting to apply for entertainment licenses in the next couple months that you haven't heard from. It's only 10. Well, the ones on my list were only 10. I don't know how many are coming through, but just to throw that out there.
What if I know we just voted to accept it. Could we accept it and say like starting September 1st or something, and then send a notice out to people that it's going to happen? Or is that just begging for them to come at the most inconvenient time for you?
That the time doesn't matter. We would get them done either way. I want to make sure that it's as fluid as possible.
Just so I'm clear, so you think that the best way to do it is to send a letter now saying to the identified establishments that starting September 1st, you're going to need a inspection if you are going to apply for a short-term liquor license? Is that right?
No, entertainment license. Is that what we're talking about, or?
No, this is for short-term liquor
Right,
licenses.
right, for short-term liquor licenses.
So did I have that right or no?
The timeline is up to you. I'm just offering information on my experience. We can enact this immediately, starting with your next list to get approved.
Okay, so I guess it's
I'm happy with whatever makes it work for the fire department, so.
Yeah, don't worry about our schedule. We can fit them in.
Okay.
And again, we're talking about having unobstructed egresses, having a
Yeah,
thing.
so working egresses, working exit signs and lights, and more importantly are the fire alarm and fire suppression sprinkler systems, making sure that they've been maintaining them, which is a mass general law. They should be doing that anyways. So I think those are all good things to ensure.
Agreed.
So I guess then, Annie, back to your question. I wasn't thinking anything necessarily formal. I just thought for the people that are on this list, it would be nice to give them a heads up, since we know that right now they haven't had the inspection. Better to tell them now before they apply than tell them during the meeting is all.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it would be helpful to give them like a start date, maybe like a July 1st or, but it doesn't have to be that way. I can also just send an email and just say that your next application.
Yeah, I mean, their next application will be subject to it and that they're encouraged to take care of it now. I mean, if we put a date on it, then do we need to re-vote on that item?
No, because we're putting this into the vote was to put it into the rules and regulations.
Yeah.
The start date is just administrative.
Okay.
So
I think a start date would be good. I think July 1st is fine. I don't think it has to be 6 months away.
But it's a safety issue. I think it should start now.
Okay. I'm not gonna go to war on this one. I'm fine with it starting now too.
can we say June 1st? It's just a matter of bandwidth that I have. Either way, I can get it out whenever I need to.
I'm sure June 1st. Natasha, what do you think for a date?
I'm fine with June 1st. I think giving folks a little bit of time is
And I
helpful,
think
that there's this changes because this change is happening. It's happening quickly. Make your appointments for your inspections.
in terms of safety, it's not like this will change any events that are happening now. It's only ones for which applications are coming to
Right.
us. So, I mean, by June 1st, we wouldn't have had another meeting. By July 1st, we would have had one.
Right. Yeah. So none of these 10 or whatever the number is have anything scheduled.
I'm fine with June 1st.
I am as well. Would that be okay on your end, Jennifer, for giving Annie a little bit, a minute?
Perfect.
Sort
Thank
it
you.
out. Okay. All right. Are we all set with that item?
We are all, I'm all set.
Okay. Annie, you all set?
Yep.
Okay. Discussion and possible vote to adopt 2-3 waiver of fees for short-term licenses into the License Commission rules and regulations. The fees established by the License Commission for short-term all alcohol beverage licenses and for short-term wine and malt licenses shall be waived for any nonprofit applicant. A nonprofit applicant seeking waiver of such fees shall include with the short-term license application a copy of its articles of organization and the most recent annual report filed with the Secretary of the Commonwealth. And Annie has indicated that she will add a field to the application so that it's clear to the applicants they have to provide that information in order to be eligible for the fee waiver.
My only question was if the articles of organization are necessary. I'm just thinking if it's like Forbes or something and their articles of organization are from like, I don't know, 1920 or some entity like that, that might not have them handy. If they're filing an annual report, that seems to be enough to say that they're a nonprofit. But
So they have to, with the state, they have to submit an annual report, or not an annual report. What is it? I forget.
Like the 990.
They have to submit something with the Secretary of State.
It's an annual report.
Okay.
Pretty positive. I could be proven wrong. The 990s for the IRS, I think.
Okay.
If Attorney Seawald wants both of them, then I am happy to defer to his expertise. It just felt redundant to need both, but.
Is it because I'm not familiar with that, would it be an onerous document for a nonprofit to produce potentially?
I think potentially if it's an old, if it's a very
Right.
long time organization and they have to go digging around in somebody's email or, files for it. I don't think it's overly onerous. It just felt to me like if we're already asking for the annual report that's filed
Right.
with the Secretary of State, they wouldn't be
Right.
filing that annual report if they didn't have to.
Right, yep. I mean,
The,
that's, it's that they're a nonprofit.
Yeah.
all the articles of organization are like cataloged with the Secretary of State.
Okay.
Like I have to get them all the time for these like these like liquor license transactions.
Okay.
I mean, Annie, do you know why he did, do you know why he included it in there? Is there a specific?
I can't speak to his thought process. I don't know.
Okay. If we want to, we can table this and get that clarification from him. If he doesn't think it needs to be in there, then it can be removed and we discuss and possibly vote at the next meeting.
I mean, if Annie's pulling them and so the nonprofit could go and pull their own and it's not a big deal, then I'm okay also with approving it. And if it turns out that it's an enormous hurdle and we have people complaining to us all the time, we could revisit.
Okay. What do you think, Jennifer?
I know that there's a website. I just didn't think to research it until now. Isn't it like masscharities.org or something, Annie? I do think all the docs are right there.
Yeah, you can either there or with the Secretary of State's website. They
Yes,
have
yes.
all, yeah.
Yeah. I just can't confirm, or I haven't confirmed that what we're looking for is there exactly, but I'm fairly certain it's there.
Definitely there. I just didn't know how far back it went, but I feel like now I'm over analyzing something that maybe is very easy. So I'm happy to go with
I
the
have
Tennessee Walds.
Question. So if it's a repeat nonprofit who we see a few times a year, they would only have to submit it once, or would they be required to submit this with every application? Like it would require some additional record keeping, I think, on your part, Annie, for who's submitted what.
Mm-hmm.
The way it's written. Or the way, yeah, I mean, I guess how would you administratively want to handle that? What's the most efficient
Well,
way?
was someone gonna say something?
Nope.
Oh. I would have to build it into the OpenGov system, and I would, if someone selects that they're a nonprofit, then a field will, I would make it so a field popped up, or an attachment field would pop up where they'd be required to upload these documents, and they wouldn't be able to move forward unless they uploaded the documents. I could also make it not required, but then I just run into people not providing the information.
Right, and then you have to chase it down. Okay, I think then having to upload it, if it becomes onerous on their end, we'll hear about it and we can pivot and figure something out. Shall we have a vote?
Sure. Do you like a motion?
I would,
Oh.
if we're ready, if you guys are ready.
I'm ready, Jen.
Yeah, ready.
Okay. I will make a move to adopt 2-3 waiver of fees for short-term licenses into the license commission rules and regulations as detailed in item 17 of the agenda.
Second.
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And before we jump into a big discussion, I just want to circle back to the Yup common victular license. Is there a chance, Annie, that he thinks he didn't need to be here?
No, because they got when you apply through OpenGov, you automatically get a notice saying when the meeting is with the Zoom link and the passcode. The only other thing I can say is they used to have a common vic before COVID, and I think they let it lapse during COVID because they stopped having like in-service or in-house or whatever it is. Yeah, so now they're just basically applying again. So they did previously have one.
And once they open their doors for food service inside, then that requires health department inspection and all that.
Right.
Okay, because what I want to avoid is a special meeting request in the middle of June or next week. If they were planning to open quickly. And I see that they did submit all of their documents.
Yeah, I don't think they said when they were going to open.
Okay. It's the same owners, right? There's no new ownership.
Yeah, it's Liza and Matthew who were the owners.
Yep. Yeah, no, I
previously.
remember when they were open before, I would go in and get coffee when they were open as a cafe. I would be inclined to approve this license because it's largely administrative, and if they do aim to open in the next couple of weeks, it would have it would require a special meeting, and for what really, just to
I would be fine with it too.
Yeah,
This is the one that was
comfortable
like
given
down the hill and
on the Mill River.
Yep.
Given the history and the owners, yes, the same owners, I'm
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah, it's
So-
not a new business.
Yep,
We're all-
yep, I'll make a motion to approve the new common victular license for Yup Coffee Roasters at 296 Nonotuck Street in Florence, item number 9 on the agenda.
I'll second.
Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Discussion and possible vote to determine the means of reissuance for the available all alcohol liquor license. So here's the conversation. So we talked last meeting about discussing the license that we've been holding on to in order for the Bowery to have a successful reopening of the Calvin, and that just doesn't appear to be happening. And I'm concerned that we'll wait forever if we're relying on Eric to do anything. So I think it's time that we discuss how to reissue this license.
A question. Is there right now, same question, I guess, from NoHo Social Conversation, is there anybody who has been reaching out looking for a license? I know that doesn't control what we do, but I'm curious.
I mean, people reach out all the time, and I put them on a list. But the one that actively has been asking is Sub Rosa.
And have you heard recently or since our last meeting from any landlords who have prospective tenants?
I have not. No.
Okay. I've been in thinking about like how to, if we were to do a lottery for a license, this license, any license, what new conditions are in play in the environment and what we might require. And I was thinking about, we had talked a little bit about if we were to invite new businesses to participate in a lottery, thinking about would require obviously a lease, a business plan, things like that. Let's say they open and the failure rate of restaurants can be pretty high. If a restaurant fails, that license then becomes a financial asset for that person. And I just feel like that's something that we would have to really suss out in terms of the lottery. Are we willing to do that? Does that seem fair? Is fairness a part of the equation? Should it be or should it not? Because
sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, because one of the conditions that we've always used was that a business be existing and open. And so it's really in considering people who have never been open, that's a big leap from how, so I just want to make sure we really talk through the nitty gritty on that one.
So
what were you
to
gonna say?
follow up on business failures, so that made me think of our last conversation with Mexicalito. No, is that yes, the old Mama Iguanas. So they still have their license, which in theory they might transfer to a new, I guess, leasee there. So it's not the same as holding the Calvin license, waiting for like a new Calvin tenant. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Because
And I think the Mexicalito license is tied up in the bankruptcy proceedings. Is that the case, Annie?
Yes, I know that Claudio has been in contact with the bankruptcy attorney because I think he has some, I think he has someone for that space. He just he needs the license to go with it.
And is our efforts to acquire more special act licenses an ongoing thing?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah. I mean, we talked to Rep Sabadosa about it all the time, but she didn't want to go for more until all of the ones that were out there are spoken for and
Fair.
in use.
Yep, totally fair.
Yeah. And I'll just mention that I have not heard from anybody about the NoHo social license over the past month. So I have not heard anything.
So there's been no movement on their progress?
I have not heard from a single soul about it.
Can you remind me what was his projected reopening date? Wasn't it?
I think he said he could be open within like a month. He just needed time to, or he could be open whenever. He just needed time to get like restock. But I mean, the transfer or the transaction takes a few like weeks or a few months at the ABCC.
Right, so that process has not been started with the
No,
ABC.
I have not even heard from anyone saying thank you and how do I proceed.
Right, so they
yeah.
need to be nudged on that.
Okay, so okay.
And we can talk about that in new business, so we don't go off track. Do you want to? Yeah, let's stay on this license for a second. Amy, you're having thoughts.
I was having a lot of mixed thoughts, but the one thing coming in my head right now, when you were talking about the risk of a new business, which I appreciate, but it feels to me like there have been plenty of existing businesses for whom there was also a big financial risk that they would stay open. And I can't remember any license commission meeting I've been at where that type of consideration has come up before. And I don't know if it just didn't come up because they were all existing businesses. I don't know. I guess on a lottery system wouldn't really allow for it, but
yeah. I mean, it would have been because of the conditions we had set where they had to be open and they had to already have a wine vault. So that was the framework that we were working in. So I think it is
a
like,
little different, but I feel like there's risk on both sides. And I think as long as they gave us a business plan that we could evaluate with some experience, just that, is this the first time they've ever done it and they just graduated college? Have they been in the industry for 30 years? Whatever.
And that would, that process would have to happen before, that evaluation would have to happen before we would have the lottery in order to determine if they could be, if they were eligible to be in the lottery.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know that I totally love that, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that how, I mean, if it's how we've done it with prior conditions is they send a letter of intent showing that they meet the conditions in order to be in the lottery.
And all of your prior conditions, though, were just sort of yes or no, you check the box, you don't. They weren't subjective.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's like the way Amherst does it is it's 100% subjective. People apply and then they go through the applications and pick, I don't know what, you know.
And part of me thinks that's great. Part of me is terrified by that.
Yeah. 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 And you know, I think this commission has turned to look at these available ice licenses as opportunities. So I really appreciate the depths to which that we discuss that. I also don't want us getting in the weeds about these big changes to become a hindrance to the process to getting this license out there.
Right. I guess where I'm
Yeah.
I'm extrapolating forward and saying, say we do this and we do whatever things and we wind up next month where in a situation where it is Sub Rosa and the Bowery.
Right.
An existing business and a great economic opportunity. I don't know how we would do a subjective analysis of those and come out feeling okay about it.
Yep. I mean, Andy, there are no updates. I'm sure you would have told us if there was some sort of movement.
No.
I mean, I hate even mentioning Sub Rosa's name, but I would hate to grant a license in June to find out in July the Bowery's back, right? So that's my fear, the sort of progression, if not the Bowery, someone else in the Calvin space. But at some point it feels like at some point we have to take that chance and cross that bridge if it gets there.
Is there a method or should some formal communication happen between Attorney Seawald and Eric regarding this? And like a formal request for a process check? So that we can. Because we know, I mean, if or the same conversation to be had with the Bowery of we need to know what to do with this license. And I mean, it's sort of like it's what we've been avoiding, which is we don't want to hear them say, okay, peace out, we're not at the table anymore, because that would be terrible, but they may not be at the table anymore. And this conversation could be a moot point.
I think they are always in the wing and ready to go as soon as he is. And because we touch base with them at least monthly and ask them if there's any movement, and they say no. But they're not giving up the dream.
I know, neither are we. That's the problem.
And go ahead, Amy.
I'm wondering if us giving this license to someone else and taking it out of that equation, I assume that would kill it for the Bowery, but maybe not. I don't know, because the license is only a small part of that conversation. Do we have a sense of whether they're only in it because there is also a license?
That was pretty.
I'm almost positive that the license is a big part of it. But I mean, we could always get them another.
So how could that happen? So if we would Lindsay Sabadosa or Representative Sabadosa have more success? Does it carry more weight in terms of the economic opportunity for her to be able to get that? Like, could we really always get them another? Like what type of guarantees are there?
She has always said that you can just keep going back for more. Like that's always been her stance. So just doesn't want us to go back when we still have some available that aren't in use, because like that's silly. And they won't look favorably upon that.
Right, and that makes sense.
I did ask Alan to, not Alan Seawald, but Alan in my office, to reach out to Eric and let him know that the commission was going to be discussing reissuing this license at its next meeting to hopefully maybe spark something. I don't believe he heard back, although there was someone else in this, another department head in the city who reached out to him and actually got him on the phone, which was surprising. She didn't mention the license because she didn't know. But I mean, he's, I guess, I don't know what to make of that. He's still like engaged a little bit. I don't really know.
Amy and Jennifer, what would be, two questions. Do you feel ready to make a decision about this license? Or do you feel ready to take this license today and make a decision on what to do with it? Take it off the Bowery table? Or if not, what information would you need in order to exhaust the conversation around the Bowery?
I am like 90% ready, maybe even 95. My question around the Bowery is, if we take that license, I don't know how to ask this question. Is there any scenario that we would be impacting where Eric could lose that property and where it would be helpful for the license to still remain?
When you say lose that property, meaning lose the building, the ownership of the real estate?
Yeah.
How does that happen? Unless
I feel like if we take the license, if we don't, I don't think Eric is going to do anything. And so I feel like in order for this to move forward, he's going to need to be removed from the picture, or the building is going to sit vacant. And I'm not exactly sure how that would happen. So I guess since I don't know, I'm maybe answering my own question. Maybe I am answering my own question. I think I'm ready to let it go and trust in Rep. Sabadosa that with the Bowery in the wings, that the city would do everything that they could to get a license, if they could get a deal to come together.
Yes, I would also echo that I'm 95% in favor of, I guess, reclaiming this license, because I have trust in Representative Sabadosa, and I hope that the state would honor her request if given.
I think we're all on the same page.
Can that be communicated to the Bowery? I mean, I guess that's my fear then, is we reissue this license and the Bowery sees it go away.
Get the message
And the
that
Bowery goes away. And I would like to tell the Bowery, if you to hang in there, that
we will
if
fight
you
for
can
them.
get a deal, that we'll try to get it back, or not it back, but another one.
So would that then look like, before our next meeting, communications happen with both parties, with Eric and the Bowery from the city, explaining that this, we're in discussions on how we handle this license. We can't sit on it forever. We acknowledge the importance of the opportunity to have the Bowery in town. And there's, a process that happens in order to acquire additional licenses. And their lawyer, I mean, they're, oh no, that was not their lawyer. That was, oh no, it was the Bowery lawyer. I forget her name. She knows how how, you know, the availability of licenses work. But I think it would, I feel short of, I can't get to that extra 5% without knowing that communication has happened with both parties. I think it's only fair. I think it would give us the information that we need to know to feel like we've done absolutely our part, in terms of the waiting, and then the communication around, you know, what our intentions are, what our obligations are really with, you know, with having an available license.
That is exactly how I feel. That's, yeah. I feel like we just need that one round of communication.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't know that I need that round, but I'm happy to go along with it. I'm just not sure that we're going to get anything. Maybe from the Bowery, it would be helpful. I don't know that there's anything that Eric would say that, short of showing up with a sign, please, that would be compelling or make a difference.
Agree. It's like waiting for Santa Claus to show up, but I feel like I feel it's a little incomplete in this moment.
So what are we communicating to them this time that we haven't before?
That we will be taking a vote on reissuing the license. And that this is, you know, over the course of the next, I mean, I think we would need Attorney Seawald to really drill into what the messaging is, but you know, it's multiple things. It's both a check-in on where they are in their process, that we are on a timeline of making a decision at our June meeting or July meeting, whatever you guys think, but June, you know, next, and we don't need to drag this out. You know, and that we have to be able to, out of fairness, all the reasons, reissue the license. So short of having zero information other than what we know of Eric, and knowing that the Bowery is like, sure, if you have a liquor license, we'll come. But even if, you know, it's not, none of that's happening. I just feel like it is a little not finished. Even though I know what the outcome's going to be, you know, like that's.
Yep. I agree.
What do you think, Annie?
So, you want me to communicate to the Bowery that the commission is going to vote to reissue the license, and then communicate the same to Eric?
Yep. Yep. So it would be a request for an update for, you know, where they are in the process. And that this is.
I mean, we can't really request that of Eric because he doesn't have a license. He's not a license holder. So he's not like, he doesn't have to respond to us.
Nope, he doesn't.
But I can have, and I'm pretty sure Alan sent him a message saying like they're gonna vote to reissue this. I can have him do it again. And then I can have him let the Bowery know. Getting a new license from the state takes like just shy of a year. But I can certainly relay this message.
That it takes that long makes me feel like even more inclined to put this communication out there. And yes, Eric doesn't have a license. He's a property owner in town. So but this is a specific situation of we need to have these people at the table.
It's like a professional courtesy that he needs to know.
Yeah.
Happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize it took a year.
Is no shade on you, Annie, just thinking out loud. Is there, I'm wondering if there's a different frame or a different person or a group of people who could reach out to Eric that might be more compelling than you on behalf of the license commission to somebody that doesn't have a license, like the EDC, Alan Seawald. I'm thinking out loud, but somebody who could make you're holding a key piece of economic development property hostage in Northampton, and we know there's someone interested and we would like an update.
I mean, Eric just as, well as I do.
know I'm asking.
He doesn't respond. He doesn't respond unless he wants to. Or if there's, he just, and honestly, when I say him just as well as I do, no one knows him because no one can predict what he's going to do because he's yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who else would be. Definitely not Alan Seawald. He would not be receptive to that. And
what about
fine?
The mayor.
The mayor showed up at the Calvin when he had a scheduled building inspection, and the mayor kind of heard about it from the building department or building commissioner, and she said, I want to come with you. And she just showed up there, and he was kind of taken aback and was like, oh, hi. And she kind of just let him know like how huge this is for the city, and that didn't do anything. Like, I really don't think anything or anyone can do anything.
I agree with that, but if we're going to ask somebody to close the loop on this formally, then who would that person be?
I don't know. You tell me.
I think that asking the mayor to do this makes sense in terms of the role. I know business partners of his who can't reach him either. So I understand that it feels futile, but I do believe it's necessary. And I think that the mayor's office, having the mayor communicate that makes sense.
Okay.
I would support that ask.
Like when we started this process of reclaiming his licenses, part of it was to not do things the way they've always been done. And even though we know the outcome is probably not going to be even remotely anything that we want, and the outcome will be, crickets that we're not going to hear from him, we still have to do this our way and not just operate because of how Eric behaves. I just don't want to do that, but.
And our ask is an update.
An update, and that the license, the license commission needs to have a discussion. And if he does respond, which he won't, who knows? He could say, oh yeah, we're talking. And then the Bowery's like, yeah, no, haven't heard from him. They're like, okay.
He did take a call from another department head, so I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic.
Yeah, it's just whatever happens, it's closing the loop. And then we just move on.
Yes.
Okay.
That sounds good if the mayor would be willing.
Okay. Are we ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Approval of minutes. Is there a motion for April 22nd and May 5th?
I will move to approve the minutes of April 22nd and May 5th as identified in agenda item 20.
Second,
Jennifer, or sure,
yes.
Natasha
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Okay, new business. So just quickly back to the no host social piece. I think it's appropriate to give them a nudge and just say there's been no movement. What are your plans? Because it's going to take some time. Does that seem reasonable?
Yes.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
I was wondering, is Majestic open?
No.
What's going on there?
She sent a message saying that they hit a snag in the opening due to financing. She's looking into other alternatives, so she can move forward and open, but she wanted to make sure that she wouldn't lose the liquor license. And wanted me to let her know what to do.
So in the past, when people are trying to sell their license, we've given them what, 6 months to do that? And when did she communicate this? So they've never opened.
No, they never opened. They don't have the license. After our May meetings, May 7th.
All right. There's the risk scenario that we were talking about earlier.
And hers is that's one that they could sell, not that would come back.
Right, it was transferred from the previous owner.
Yeah, but she did buy it, so.
Yeah, she bought it, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And the new language on the special act licenses, it no longer reads that it would come back to the city anyways.
Okay.
Right. It's not a special act license.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to have some sort of communication with her or let this roll out and see what happens or ask her for an
Has
update?
it just been a month?
No, it was May 7th.
Oh, it's just been a
That
couple
was
weeks.
2 weeks ago.
But she never opened. Like, when did
No, she never opened. She doesn't even have any licenses. I still have them because I don't have all of like the insurance paperwork and stuff.
Okay.
And when were they in front of us? Sorry, I was thinking that was in May. But obviously no.
It was a couple months ago.
Looks like our calendar. I think it was our March meeting. Or maybe it was April.
I'm happy to give them another month and see.
No, it was our February meeting.
Okay. Then yeah, I'd be curious to just get an update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is the update.
But the update doesn't have a timeline. Was there a timeline? Did I miss that?
There's no timeline, no. I don't think she knows that. I can ask her.
But even if they don't open, she owns the license, right? So that's not a license that we can take back. Yes?
Correct, but you can revoke it.
Revoke it for non-use?
After a certain period of time, you can revoke it. You'd have to have a hearing.
Right. And I'm thinking of Pine Grove, is that what it was called? The golf course?
Mhm.
How long? We gave him, I think, 6 months to sell his unused license.
Maybe it was probably longer because that went to NoHo Social.
I feel like given what we're going through with the Bowery and Eric and the length of time that license has been floating around, that I'm fine letting the Majestic sort itself out for a while, maybe with an eye towards at the end of the summer, if they didn't open with Summer on Strong right there and everybody downtown, that then that would be a problem.
I think that's fair. That's
I
3.
can tell you when it was approved by the ABCC because I mean, yes, they were at the February meeting, but that doesn't mean they could have used it in February.
Right. It's a good point.
So they were approved by the ABCC April 10th.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
I forget how long these things take at the ABCC. It's surprising.
So like
I'm fine
6
letting
months
that
would
go.
be October
Right.
10th.
Yeah, so that was just 6 weeks ago now. Yep, that changes the calendar.
Yep.
Okay.
I still feel like
Be
September
continued.
would be a good check-in if
Yep.
nothing has happened by then.
Agreed. Does anybody else have new business?
I do not.
No. Any? No? I think we're done then.
Look, with 14 minutes to spare.
Yoo-hoo. Would somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion
I
to
will move
adjourn.
to adjourn. Oh, second.
Jennifer, Natasha,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and Amy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You all.
See you later.